Hey, bro.
The movie starts off with narration, but in the form of a song with no other than the late great Nate Dogg on the track, with two random ass white girls dancing around him. I don't know why they're there. Even though it's been years since I've seen this movie, I still know the lyrics to the intro by heart. Like, it's just one of those DVDs I had in my rotation quite a bit when I was a kid.
Here's a story about a man, a simple man, a man with a dream to do the world some good.
That's that real music, man.
We get introduced to Chris Rock's character, Maze Gilliam, who's an alderman, and it's a position that other politicians look down on in this movie. Is being an alderman really that bad? It can't be, right? Anyways, he's answering people's calls complaining about a bunch of nonsense.
What are you upset about? It's not a black-owned business? Yeah, but it's a Chinese food restaurant. I know it's fried rice, but it's not fried rice. No, you can't use food stamps to buy tires.
I almost forgot that he has a fiance, but he puts her to the side because of work stuff. Yeah, that relationship sounds great. Maze heads out to help an old lady named Miss Pearl because the demolition crew is at her house and they're gonna blow it up with a damn bomb. Why not use a wrecking ball or anything else that would be less destructive? Like, anything would be better than a fucking bomb, bruh. Miss Pearl notices her cat is still in the house and she goes inside to get him, but they can't shut the explosives off, so Maze goes inside the house and saves the day.
Miss Pearl, we gotta get out of here. We're gonna blow this place up.
Oh, they wouldn't do that, baby. They know we're in here.
We seen Malcolm X killed. We seen JFK killed. Now, do you really think these people give a damn about you?
Next, we see Maze pulling up to a gas station and we get introduced to some side characters and love interest Lisa, who was played by Tamala Jones. They have a short conversation about him saving the old lady and some boring old politics. We also see Hustle Man making an appearance.
You know my sales slogan. You want it, I got it. If I ain't got them, get it. So get it while the getting's good.
He's out here selling meat.
What?
That may or may not be stolen. I guess he's the local meat plug or some shit. Buying meat from a random nigga off the street is mind-boggling to me. When Maze arrives back to his crib, he instantly gets pressed by his girlfriend, Kim, because he hung up on her earlier, and she breaks up with Maze because she feels like he's wasting his potential by just being an alderman, and berates him because he won't play the political game and climb up the ladder. She reveals that she hasn't paid any of the bills this month, causing his whip to get repossessed. Yeah, that's some evil shit. I would have lost my mind, and she's talking all types of crazy on top of that, bruh.
Waiting for you to quit acting like a child and act like a grown man for a change, Maze. You're horrible in bed. I wish you would.
Next, we see Democratic leaders having a meeting, and they already decided that they're gonna lose the race to Brian Lewis since their candidate just died in a plane crash along with his running mate. All that they need to do now is find a minority candidate who is willing to take the loss without knowing that the game is already rigged against them, just so the senator can swoop in and win the 2008 election. That's really a fucked up plan. Like, imagine you're only running for office just to lose for someone else's gain in the future. They don't even take into account of the possibility of that candidate winning, which adds more to the disrespect if you ask me. Anyways, we see Maze's life is going to shit. He got evicted out of his office, his bike got ran over, and he sees his ex out on a date with another man. We even have Nate Dogg chiming in on how bad everything is. Get used to Nate Dogg having more random appearances. I'm not complaining though, because this beat is hard as fuck.
He feels bad, body low, got nowhere to go. What can you do when you're feeling low? Man, I wanna know. And your car just got repoed.
Somehow Dr. Connors finds Maze and takes him to a hotel where the Democratic Party is having a meeting, and they tell Maze that they want him to run for president despite only being an alderman.
We'd like you to run for president.
Of what?
The United States.
Of what?
Of America.
Which America?
Not! He is suspicious of the whole thing, but the senator convinces him to run for office anyways. I don't know why it would be so hard to believe that someone who is an alderman is running for president. Like, yeah, it's a huge leap from someone's political career, but I don't think it's unrealistic. I mean, look who we have in office right now. So I wouldn't say this is the worst candidate you could possibly choose. Maze is officially running for office now, and once his ex realizes what she missed out on, she starts acting insane. Like, bitch, why are you yelling so loud? And you have a nigga right there too. Like, what the fuck? We get introduced to May's team. He has a security guard that kidnaps people on command if you holler out security. He has a doppelganger in case of assassinations. That sounds very useful nowadays. We also have a white woman on the team, and her job is to sleep with him, but she never does, so don't worry. We skip over to May's coming out party, and the whole goal is to raise money for his campaign, so he has to be around crazy rich people all night for donations. Maze runs into Lisa again, and she's working as a caterer for the party, and he convinces her to dance with him, and everybody is now on the floor getting lit. Maze then hops on the turntables to hype the crowd up. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, these old white folks are actually hitting that shit though. They on beating everything. It's amazing. Then Maze fucks up the vibes by shouting the roof is on fire, and they think he's being serious, and they all panic and the party gets shut down. Then from out of nowhere, May's ex arrives, and she's trying to plan their wedding, and Maze ain't having none of that shit, and she gets snatched up by security.
I can't decide whether we should have a DJ or a band. DJ band, DJ band, DJ band.
Maze begins to go around the country for his campaign and basically uses the same speech for each state that he stops at. Like, come on, man, not every state can be the backbone of the United States. Then again, he has to pander to everyone to get his numbers up, so I'll let him have a pass on that one.
The church people, who are the backbone and the spirit of this great land of ours. It's people like you, the ranchers, who are the backbone of this country.
Maze is concerned about his speeches being too repetitive and wants to talk about things that are more relevant to the people, and he is only up by 1 point in the polls, but his team reassures him that everything will be just fine. We next get introduced to Maze's brother, Mitch, and he is played by no other than the late great legend himself, Bernie Mac. It's always good to see him in a movie, man. Anyways, Mitch wants to stop by and have a sit down with his little brother and tell him that the speeches they are giving him are not it, and wants Maze to be more authentic when he goes up on stage.
You play the game when you working for them. This is your campaign. You supposed to be in charge. I love you, man. And I'm with you no matter what. Okay?
Maze decides to take his brother's advice and go off script and delivers a speech to get the people behind him. This scene is actually pretty funny, and I had the feeling that Chris Rock improvised most of his lines here.
How many of you right now work 2 jobs just to have enough money to be broke? I asked my niece the other day, what's 4 plus 4? She said 44. It is! But it ain't right. That shit is wrong.
Everyone loved the speech, and Maze wants to run his campaign his way, as it should have been from the start. Okay, I may have to take back from what I said earlier about him being in control, because what the fuck is this outfit? Dude should have just stuck to suits and ties. This motherfucker has on a Fat Farm denim outfit with this goofy ass hat that he looks like he stole from Common. Maybe I would forgive this outfit if it wasn't for this big ass US flag chain. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Wait, hold up. This nigga is wearing a US flag brass knuckle. Yo, this outfit is pissing me off the more I look at it, so let's move on, man. It seems like his campaign is doing better and is gaining positive publicity by speaking with different communities across the nation. Not too sure how well his audience will react to Maze supporting gay rights and legal prostitution, especially in the early 2000s. Anyways, Deborah doesn't like how the campaign is being ran and she wants out, but Bill tells her to stick to the plan of Maze losing the race. Hey, Deborah needs to relax for a little bit. It seems like everyone is having a good time but you, bruh. She's probably still mad about that Darnell situation that happened a while back. If you know, you know. We're now 7 weeks away from Election Day, and Vice President Brian Lewis is just now learning who Maze Gilliam is, and immediately starts hating for no real reason.
This is my time. I've been vice president for 8 years. I am a war hero, and I am Sharon Stone's cousin. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let my election be ruined by this asshole.
I get that he is your opponent and everything, but you didn't even know who he was until like 5 seconds ago. Anyways, Brian has his target set on Maze and starts running smear campaign ads against him, and now Maze has to figure out how he's going to respond, but he doesn't have too much of a leg to stand on because of his not so impressive resume. For now, he has to carry on and not focus on responding back, and continues to appear at events for good publicity.
Oh shit!
My leg! I never realized Road Dogg, Jeff Jarrett, and R-Truth did a cameo for this movie. That's actually cool as fuck. If you didn't know, I'm a wrestling fan and just wanted to nerd out a little bit. Alright, let's get back to the review. The smear campaigns are getting worse for Maze, and the people are starting to turn against him because of this new ad that said that Maze is for cancer and not against it, despite not showing any proof of him saying that.
I'm a Klansman. I hate Jews and but I love Brian Lewis.
I'm Osama bin Laden. I hate America, but I love Brian Lewis.
This dude Brian Lewis has a Klansman and Osama bin fucking Laden showing support for him in his ads. Why would anyone vote for this man? He would piss off his voter base way too much going this route. Anyways, the senator stops by to talk to Deborah about Mays having over 30 points, which was not a part of the plan. I mean, it is your fault. You told her to let Mays run his campaign his way, and now it is gaining traction. Like, you can't get mad because his strategy is working. Like, he's just straight up hating. We skip over to Mays chilling in the bus watching the news, and white girl from earlier is wondering why he isn't smashing her because, you know, that's her job. He won't smash because he barely knows Nikki, and she asks him if he is trying to get to know someone else. Then we cut to Mays picking up Lisa from the gas station, and they take a trip around town, and you can tell that they're starting to feel each other more. Eventually, Mays' security guards find him as he and Lisa were about to kiss, with guns pointed at him and shit. There is no need for that. There's like 10 guns aimed right at them. Y'all are doing way too much here. Anyways, Mays has to go to a middle school to talk about an incident that happened with guns and explosives found in a student's locker, but don't worry, nobody was hurt. Why would you even need the candidates to even talk about this anyways? You would think the principal or somebody in the district school system would be more likely to talk to the press about this. Before Mays can even get a full comment, Brian Lewis shows up and steals all the attention away from Mays with his lame ass speech. Mays asks Brian for a debate, but he disrespectfully declines.
Sir, we really should debate.
Let's get something straight, Gilliam. I don't know you, and I don't like you. Party's over, Gilliam. I'm fixing to whoop your ass.
We cut to Mays and his team watching the news, and Mays made a controversial comment when he was at the school earlier without him knowing the camera was on him.
What do you expect? They act like us. We're bombing countries all the time. If I was 12, I'd probably have a gun too.
Tell me you didn't say that.
I didn't know the camera was on me. I was just playing around with some sound guy.
There is no way you thought the camera wasn't on you while you was talking with the sound tech. I mean, he kinda has a point here, but there had to be a better way to state your opinion on this. If that wasn't bad enough, Mays is now under investigation for simply knowing a drug dealer. I don't even know how they got the information. Niggas must be spying on him or something. Now the country hates him and his campaign is looking shaky. I'll let Nate Dogg take over for a little bit.
He doesn't know what he's gonna do. He doesn't know what he's gonna do. Hope the election's not through.
While Mays is trying to come up with ways to cool things down, Deborah finally snaps and tells Mays the truth as to why he was picked to run for office.
Do you have any idea why they chose you? You're here to lose, Mays. If they really had any idea that they could win this thing, do you think they would have chosen an ignorant ass nigga like you?
Immediately after this, he kicks everyone off the bus and now he is out on his own. Well, not for too long because Dr. Connors finds him the next day to apologize and convinces him to get back on the team. Mays still needs a running mate and of course he picks his brother Mitch. His entrance is probably the only thing that most people remember about this movie. Anyways, Mitch instantly cooled things over with Mays' controversial comment from earlier and everyone accepts the apology and all is forgiven it seems. They only have 4 weeks left until election day and they are still far behind in the polls. Mitch kind of acts like a mouthpiece for Mays when they make appearances and is basically Bernie Mac being himself, which makes for really good comedy.
Hold that thought, we have a caller from Detroit. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Mitch, what you looking around for? It's Reggie, motherfucker. Where my money at, man?
Don't come with that bullshit. You see I'm on TV.
How do you feel about NATO?
I never met NATO. I don't know nothing about it. I don't talk about people behind their back.
Lewis still won't debate Mays. Calling him out isn't going to work, so they come up with an idea of simply annoying the shit out of him and forcing his hand. And this montage is one of my favorite parts of this movie.
What the community needs is for you to debate me right now.
You want to tell the people something? Tell them that.
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop.
What you looking for, the news? The news is we want to debate.
No.
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop.
Brian is sick and tired of these niggas taunting him and insulting his mama, and they will finally debate. They should have talked about his mom earlier if that is what it would take to get a debate out of him.
That shit right, nigga.
It's 1 week before election day, and Mays is 18 points behind Lewis. Mitch is giving Mays a pep talk to get his brother ready for the debate next week. He tells him that Mays has to present himself better and stop wearing tracksuits all the time. Seriously, this dude's outfits are tracksuits 90% of the time. Like, wear something else, nigga, damn. Mays gets mad and starts hitting Mitch and they start fighting, and Mays get his ass beat, of course. Later on, Mays calls Deborah to apologize and he wants her back on the team, and she agrees to come back and everything is all good. We're finally at the night of the debate and the stakes are high now since tomorrow is going to be election day. So it's do or die at this point. We kind of start off on a bad foot for Mays though.
What steps should be taken to limit our youth's access to violent materials?
How do we limit violent material? Turn it off. And if the kids cut it back on, knock them out.
Is this nigga serious?
For some reason, Kim makes an appearance. Like, lady, you've been kidnapped like 4 or 5 times by this point. After a while, you just gotta hang it up.
Security!
I love you so much.
Anyways, during the debate, Lewis says that the country should not be ran by an amateur, and of course he lists off his accomplishments that he won't shut up about. Mays responds to Lewis by saying there is nothing wrong with being an amateur, and names off notable people throughout history who were amateurs as well, and pretty much won the people over.
The people that started the Underground Railroad were amateurs. Because when it comes to judging talent and potential, you are an amateur. So tonight, I want to say, God bless America and everybody else. I'm Mays Gilliam, and I'm running for President of the United States of America.
It's now election day, and everyone is casting their votes and shit. You know how elections work. Why am I explaining this to you? Mays' team is focused on getting endorsements, but Mays is more concerned with helping his neighborhood since their bus service is shut down, so he opts to drive his bus around town. We see his ex-fiance once again, but she doesn't get kidnapped this time, so it's all good. The race is neck to neck, and if one of the candidates win California, then they will win the election. Then we see Senator Arnott switches sides and gives Lewis the playbook on how to win the election, just so Mays can lose like he won it all along.
Well, what can we do to turn this around?
There's about 1.5 hours left at the West Coast polls. If there's a leak saying Gilliam is going to win, you'll get a late rush. You get California, you get the election.
The ballots are now closed and everyone is at the edge of their seats waiting for the results, and of course, Mays wins the election and everyone is happy and celebrating. It's crazy to think that this movie came out 5 years before Obama became president. I miss when presidents weren't insane. Anyways, the movie ends with an after party with everyone dancing to the Nate Dogg song, and we have Funk Flex as the DJ. I guess that's cool. We close out with Chris Rock's face on Mount Rushmore for some reason, and that's the end. I think this is one of the more decent Chris Rock movies, but it was met with mixed to negative reviews when it was released, unfortunately. But it's honestly not even that bad. On paper, this movie sounds bad, but you just gotta see it for yourself. I enjoyed most of the performances here, especially from Bernie Mac. I wish they gave him a bit more screen time, man. Chris Rock was basically playing himself, but that's all you really need for a comedy like this anyways. Also, I love the interludes from Nate Dogg throughout the runtime. I will say my main complaints for this movie is that I wish they leaned a bit more into the uglier sides of politics in the comedic way, especially while the war on terror was going on. A bit of the jokes here haven't aged the best, but overall, it's a decent watch. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. What do y'all think of it though? Love it? Hate it? Somewhere in between? Let me know in the comments below. It's been your boy Quanchito, and I'll see you later.